My name is Alison Jones. I'm an adult literacy organiser, and I was based in Galway City until I was transferred here to the GRETB training centre. When I arrived, my remit was to help the lads to pass their exams and to stop them from dropping out if possible. And I was given carte blanche to do this. I didn't actually do anything for about 2 to 3 months because it took me some time to learn the lie of the land here. I had to see what the language was, if you like, what the instructors were doing, what the difficulties were. So I took my time to investigate and to also to create relationships and to get to know everybody here. And I would say, having arrived here in September, I probably didn't really start doing anything until the beginning of December, when I started meeting a couple of groups, motor mechanics and the electricians at that stage. And I started working with one individual particularly from the motor mechanic garage who gave me a big clue as to precisely what the difficulties were. So the learner was identified by the instructor in the group, and he came to me for one-to-one classes, and I found that his difficulties lay in comprehending the material. He had very little motivation to even read the material. Some of it is long, made up of long sentences, long paragraphs, and difficult vocabulary. And he didn't have the motivation or the discipline to do the work when he went home. So I started off by showing him how to break down the sentences, how to make the text in note form so that it would be easier for him to use when he got home. And we devised a way of coming up with a glossary as well as questions and answers in bullet point forms and table forms and things like that. And he became much more satisfied with that and was able to work with that. Collaboration with the instructors was vital in helping me to do the work I was doing. Not only would they identify the learners, but they would tell me how and in what way they were having difficulties in their courses. So between us, we came up with strategies for each learner, and I'd have to say that no learner was the same. There was different things that worked with each of them. For one of the electrical apprentices, for example, he preferred paper flashcards with the questions and answers on them, whereas the original motor mechanic, he preferred the notes in the table form. The instructors then were instrumental in releasing the students to me, but also in telling me what the notes meant. Now, I took these classes myself to see what the difficulties were, but clearly I don't have a background in motor mechanics or electrical engineering. So I had to try and learn some of this myself to see precisely where the difficulties were coming in. And what I found really was that it was to do with more the technical vocabulary. However, in all the notes, I did check back with the instructors to see that what I was actually doing, meant, what it was supposed to mean and that it was a valid answer.